What happens when the world's two most powerful militaries face off in a battle of dominance, land, sea, air, and beyond? In 2025, the military race between the US and China isn't just about tanks and troops, it's about tech, tactics, and total global influence. From stealth fighters to space weapons, from cyber units to missile supremacy, this isn't fiction. It's unfolding now. But which superpower actually holds the upper hand? The answer might surprise you. Stick around, because the final numbers tell a story the headlines never do. Subscribe for more eye-opening military breakdowns. Number 1. Defense budget. Let's start where every military begins, its wallet. In 2025, the United States is spending a massive $850 billion on defense. That's more than the next 10 countries combined. China officially reports $246 billion, but many experts believe the real spending could be up to 40% higher, hidden across other sectors. So what are they spending it on? The US is pouring money into AI weapons, space programs, cybersecurity, and next-generation aircraft. Meanwhile, China is boosting its navy, missile systems, and cyber operations at an aggressive pace. The growth is fast, 7.2% of this year alone. But here's the catch. While the US leads in raw dollars, China is focused on building cheaper, faster, and in huge numbers. It's not just about how much you spend, it's where, how, and how fast you can turn it into firepower. And both nations are racing to reshape their militaries for the next war, not the last one. Number 2. Active military personnel. When it comes to manpower, China leads in sheer numbers. As of 2025, China has about 2.035 million active duty soldiers, compared to the United States' 1.32 million. That's a difference of over 700,000 troops. But the US balances that with a strong reserve force of 762,000, made up of trained personnel ready to be deployed. China, on the other hand, has 510,000 reserves and 625,000 paramilitary forces, which are not part of the main army but can be mobilized during emergencies. Another key point is how each country builds its forces. The US military is fully voluntary, meaning every soldier has chosen to serve. In China, military service is technically mandatory, but it's mostly enforced through selective recruitment. And while China has a larger military-age population, the US puts more focus on training, technology, and elite specialization. In the end, it's not just about numbers, it's about how those numbers are used. Number 3. Nuclear arsenal and capabilities. The United States holds around 3,748 nuclear warheads, with about 1,740 currently deployed. China, while behind in numbers, is quickly expanding and now has about 600 warheads. But nuclear power isn't just about quantity, it's about how you use it. The US maintains a nuclear triad, with 400 Minuteman II SCBMs, Trident IID-5 submarine-launched missiles with a 7,500-mile range, and long-range bombers like the B-2 and B-52. China's arsenal is growing fast, led by the DF-41 intercontinental missile with a 9,300-mile range and the JL-3 submarine-launched missile that can strike targets up to 6,200 miles away. Their A-6 and bombers round out the delivery system. The US leads in second strike capability, meaning it can still respond even after being hit. That's the key to nuclear deterrence. Make sure your enemy knows any attack means certain retaliation. That's why these weapons, while terrifying, are built to never be used. Number 4. Aircraft carriers. The United States leads the world with 11 nuclear-powered supercarriers, unmatched in size and power. When you include amphibious assault ships, the total number jumps to 20 active carriers, giving the US a massive edge in global naval reach. Each supercarrier can launch and recover over 75 aircraft, including F/A-18s, F-35Cs, E-2 Hawkeys, and helicopters. These floating airbases are over 1,090 feet long and weigh about 100,000 tons. In comparison, China has 2 active carriers, Liaoning and Shandong, with a third, Fujian, under construction. By 2025, China is expected to operate 3 carriers total. Their ships are conventionally powered and carry 40 to 50 aircraft, mostly J-15 fighters and helicopters. U.S. carriers use nuclear power, allowing them to operate longer without refueling. This gives the U.S. more flexibility and global presence. China is rapidly modernizing, but it's still years behind in carrier operations. In this domain, America's dominance is clear. Number 5. Fighter jets. When it comes to fighter jets, the US and China are locked in a high-speed race for air dominance. The United States has about 2,700 fighter jets, while China has around 1,900. America's top jets are the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Lightning II. The F-22 can fly at Mach 2.25, over 1,500 miles per hour, with a combat radius of 500 miles. It features stealth, supercruise, and thrust vectoring. The F-35 reaches Mach 1.6, flies 1,200 miles per hour, and has a 685-mile radius. It's built for stealth and advanced targeting. On the other side, China's top jets are the J-20 Mighty Dragon and the J-35, still in testing. The J-20 flies at Mach 2.0, with a 750-mile radius, and includes stealth and long-range missile systems. The J-35 is designed for carriers, hits Mach 1.8, and has a 750-mile range. The U.S. holds an edge in experience, global deployment, and proven combat performance. Number 6. Space military assets. Space is no longer just about satellites. It's a battlefield above the clouds. In 2025, the United States has over 300 military satellites used for GPS, communications, surveillance, and missile warning. China has around 140 military satellites, and is adding more each year. The U.S. created the Space Force in 2019, which now trains for orbital combat and satellite defense. China, meanwhile, tested an anti-satellite missile in 2007, and is now building jammers and space interceptors. Both countries rely heavily on their satellite networks. The U.S. uses the GPS system, Navstar, which powers navigation worldwide. China runs its own network called Baidu, mostly for regional use. While China is advancing fast, America still leads in both numbers and capability. In the race for space control, the U.S. remains one step ahead. Number 7. Naval fleet size. Control of the oceans is key to global power, and in 2025, China has the numbers. China operates about 777 naval ships, while the United States has around 490. But numbers don't tell the full story. The U.S. Navy leads in capability, reach, and technology. Submarines, the U.S. has 68, and every single one is nuclear-powered, giving them longer range and stealth. China has 76 submarines, but most use diesel, which limits how far they can go. When it comes to destroyers, the U.S. fields 91, including the advanced Arleigh-Burke and Zumwalt classes. China has 36 destroyers, still modernizing fast. The U.S. is shifting toward larger, multi-role ships instead of smaller frigates. China has over 50 modern frigates, mostly Type 054A, focused on coastal defense. The U.S. may have fewer ships, but it dominates in deep-sea strength and global operations. Number 8. Missile systems. Missiles are the sharp edge of modern warfare, and both the U.S. and China have built huge arsenals. The United States has between 4,000 to 5,000 missiles, including nuclear and conventional types. China has over 2,000 missiles, and the number keeps growing. The U.S. fields 400 Minuteman ICBMs, each with a range of 8,100 miles. China's top ICBM is the DF-41, which can fly 9,300 miles and carry multiple warheads. Underwater, the U.S. uses the Trident IID-5 SLBM, reaching 7,500 miles. China counters with the JL-3 with a 6,200-mile range. The U.S. relies on the Tomahawk cruise missile, accurate over 1,000 miles. China's TJ-10 goes 1,240 miles and can launch from land, air, or sea. In hypersonic weapons, the U.S. is testing the AGM-183 AARW, flying at Mach 5 to 7. China already deploys the DF-17, flying faster than Mach 10 over 1,300 miles. In missile warfare, both powers are pushing limits, but the U.S. still leads in tested systems. Number 9. Drone technology. Drones are changing how wars are fought, and both the U.S. and China know it. In 2025, the United States operates over 11,000 military drones, from small surveillance UAVs to long-range combat systems. China's exact number of military drones isn't public, but estimates suggest it's in the low thousands. The U.S. leads with advanced models like the MQ-9 Reaper for long-range precision strikes, the RQ-4 Global Hawk for high-altitude reconnaissance, and the XQ-58 Valkyrie, a stealth drone designed for unmanned combat missions. China's top drones include the Wing Longyu, which performs strike and recon missions, the CH-5, capable of launching multiple guided weapons, and the UEZ-8, a high-speed drone made for deep recon. The U.S. uses powerful AI systems to control and coordinate drones across the globe. These UAVs are often integrated with satellites and manned aircraft, making them more flexible in combat. China focuses more on exporting its drones, offering cost-effective options used by countries in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. While China is catching up, America's drone fleet is bigger, smarter, and more battle-tested. In the skies, U.S. drones still rule the air. Number 10. Tank Fleet. Tanks remain a key force on the ground, and both nations bring serious firepower. In 2025, the United States operates around 4,650 M1 Abrams tanks, including upgraded versions like the M1A2 SAP-2 and SATP-3. China has about 4,800 tanks, made up of roughly 1,300 Type 99/99 main battle tanks and around 1,000 Type 15 light tanks. The M1A2 Abrams weighs over 70 tons, with a 1,500 horsepower engine and a 120mm smoothbore gun, designed for heavy combat and survivability. China's Type 99A is lighter at around 58 tons, built for speed and firepower, while the Type 15 is more mobile in mountain and high-altitude zones. The Abrams tops out at 42 miles per hour, and the Type 99A can reach 50 miles per hour. The U.S. tanks are known for their armor and toughness. China's tanks focus on mobility and modern electronics. On flat terrain or rough hills, these machines shape the battle below. In this clash of titans, numbers tell one story, strategy tells another. The U.S. leads in global reach and tested tech, while China rises fast with scale and ambition. Subscribe now for more powerful military breakdowns and global defense insights.